Hello and welcome back again at the Gran Turismo 7, and it's been a while since I upload my. I don't know, like at this point, like I do forgot which kind of video that I uploaded recently. So if you might not know that the GT7 update video that I usually make, it was basically the footage was taken like weeks ago, or at this point like months ago right now because look, man, April is like busy to me, and May it's some things that did not expect to be that busy, like very busy, and also quite unfortunate because there's so many problems in May, especially I'm not May, like I think this year, like got so many things new, got so many problems, stuff like that, and the usual thing as an adult, I guess. So I'm back again at GT7, still on the 1.69 update. Uh, Surely that last month was not a great month to me and to other motorsport fans, especially in NASCAR. If you might not know. Um, so yeah, before we get into the nitty gritty of this video, surprisingly, Gran Turismo teasing, or I would say announcing, the car that will be in the next update for the June update. This one's going to be releasing, I guess, on the 11 June, so not that far away. So we got a five new cars. I would say five new cars because one of them aren't hypercars. So as you can clearly see from this image, the update is going to be heavily relying on the brand new hypercars, which it's something that we did not expect. Like people do hoping for, I would say not hoping, like they cope about the GT cars, I would say race car, or hypercars, like recent hypercars to be added in this game. But turns out the only thing they get, it's a crossover SUV. So to see this one, like like basically it's like a car packs for free. It's something that's surprising and is a very good thing. We do not expect this one, especially with the safety car. I do I do want to know what the safety car is going to be like. Unsurprisingly, I would say unironically, that's the only thing I'm interested with. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the next update. You got Ferrari, Porsche, the BMW with the outdated grille, and of course the updated Peugeot 9X8, because the only hypercars in this game has is the outdated GR10 hybrid. So to see that, like four new hypercars in the Group 1 class, yeah, it is a bit of a good, I'll say it's a very good news for the for the next day, for this June. Hope brings some of the joy on this June. So ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, in the update 1.69 there is tons of engine swaps. One of them is quite interesting. Now, the car that I'm choosing right now is a 2010 Lexus LFA. Now, from the the car itself is great in terms of the sound. Now, turns out that this car has an engine swap option, and it's something that is, I would say, it's not a bad engine swap. It's something, it's like, it is cool. You still get that cool sound, but it's like rather different, and it just feels wrong. So, if you may not know, this car receiving a McLaren F1 GTR engine swap, which is great at this point. I mean, finally we got some things like a McLaren engine swap. I would say BMW engine swap. I don't know where the source came from, but it just feels wrong when you put the F1 GTR on the LFA. It's just not right. However, there is a one car that is very suited for the engine swap, and it is a McLaren. So ladies and gentlemen, turns out the engine swap option has a two cars. So basically there's a two cars receiving an F1 GTR engine swap, and it's gonna be a McLaren, unsurprisingly. I mean, I do expect that soon or later, but here we go. It's time for buy the 650S, because apparently I haven't bought this one except for the GT4 class one. So let's just heading into the go for the Aurora Blue, whatever it is. It is quite cheap. However, I discovered that the engine swap itself aren't cheap at all. Now, far as I'm concerned, that the most expensive engine swap that you can probably get is the Chiron engine swap, which somehow was in almost every single supercars in this game. Like, you got Corvette been swapping with the Chiron, you got GTR, hell, even you got Lexus with that one. So it's kind of weird to see that one. Okay, now I think it's time for the the engine swap. Now there's a bit of a good side and a downside. Like, I would say about this engine swap, it's a bit of 50-50, I would say. Like, it is very expensive because it costs 10 millions and 100 for God's sake reason. But at the same time, like, you don't need to wait for the rotation in your legend cars in order to get, or I would say, feels the engine swap option. So this one, the F1 GTR from 1997, I believe this is the BMW car, like the longtail one. So it's going to be receiving a Group 2 engine swap, which is great. Like, there's so many cars that receiving Group 2 engine swap. There you go. Are you going to listen to it? Woo! Damn. Now, I don't need to hear the original sound of the car, but I don't know, who cares? I mean, it's a subtle supercars and it's been slapped on with the craziest engine swap possible and expensive engine swap possible. So let's just white these things, make a little bit more race proper car, whatever I'm saying this. Alright, customization time. Now, because this one's an original car since in GT Sport, so I'm not expecting a crazy customization on this one. However, I do not expect to be that in the 650S. There we go. I think that's the one of the craziest things. But anyways, that's the only customization. There is nothing different, I would say. Yeah, so that's a customization. Let's go for a livery. I do believe someone already made like the Fina longtail livery from the there you go. I told you that. Of course, you got the Lark from the All Japan GT series. You got the Mansory, sure, and I think that's it. So let's get into the Fina and do a bit of a little modification on the paint scheme itself. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. First up, I'm gonna change the racing number from 42 into something a bit more special. Got so many racing numbers. There you go. Let's go for a Kyle Busch this time around. We lost the great one. If you might not know that I'm a diehard KFB fan, so seeing him like pass away immediately, it's something that shocked me, and I think everyone shocked with that news as well. Like, we do not expect to be that quickly. And 42, there you go. It just replaced it with the another Kyle Busch. I think I'm gonna go for the thick one. There you go. That seems speed, right? So I think that's it. Let's just basically change the number. I'm not gonna carry the number 87 at this moment because look, we just lost one of the greatest NASCAR driver of all time, and yeah, it's truly shocked. Here we go, the McLaren 650 GTR at the Trial Mountain in the Hypercars Parade, and it sounds magnificent. Ooh. And it still carry that, road car handling. The only advantage is the sound and the because it was a race car, it was a Group 2 car, so it has a very good gas mileage. So you can make like a semi-race car, and truly, I would say it can compete with the Group 3 car at least. Now, I don't know that you have a guts to compete with the actual Group 2 race car, because apparently it's originated from the Group 2 class. I mean, it's a GT1. Like, Group 2 is like a dumpster class, so like you got the GT1, like a previous DTM, GT500. You know what is cursed? The fact that you're gonna hear this one in the LFA once you fit it with that F1 GTR. So is it worth it? And is it like a worth it engine swap? I would say it's a 50-50 because it is very expensive. Like it costs you 10 millions and 100 credits. Like you need to grind in order to receive the engine swap. Unless you already collect like a 20 or like 10 like me, so you don't need to worry about that. But even that, it just, it's still expensive, especially when you combine with the price of the car. So it makes a total like 10,450. I mean, it's not like a budget friendly. It wasn't. Sounds like a budget friendly to me. But the reason why I'm saying it's a 50-50 is because, look, every single McLaren F1 is locked behind the legend cars, behind the rotation. And once it's in the legend cars, one of them, it costs you like twice of the engine swap. So the engine swap costs like a 10. I mean, I know it's a 10-100, but let's just say it's a 10 millions. The cars itself, it can probably cost you about like 20. So imagine you have to collect all those 3 McLaren F1 variants, like from the road car, the Tokyo UN Clinic, and the Fino one, which the paint kit I'm using on. It can probably cost you like a 60 million in-game credit, which it is very, it is. You need to grind at things. So I think it's like an alternative for me, really. But the reason I'm saying it's a 50-50 is you can at least get the the cheapest McLaren F1. I would say you recreate your own McLaren F1 to make it look like this, and there you have it. Now the downside of this one, because it also has some tied with the Lexus LFA. What I mean by that, like the LFA does receive an engine swap like this. It kind of like whopping into like a 14,000 million, since the LFA itself is very expensive. My driving is pretty bad. Okay, so yeah, like when you combine with that one, like with the LFA, it's not so budget friendly at all. So yeah, again, it's a 50-50. Like you can make like your own McLaren F1 at home with the cheapest possible. Or maybe you can go for like full-on Lexus LFA and the McLaren F1 engine swap. So make your own choice, I guess. There we go. We meet the Finino, and it seems really fast. And we passed it. Now again, that car is a bit of a weird, but I do hope one day that Finino will receive an engine swap, and it's not gonna be like a typical Chiron engine swap, which if they did that, I'm gonna be pissed. Not disappointed, but pissed. I expect to be like a Huracan GT3 engine swap, or maybe something like crazy, to make the car like a race car. Even it doesn't look like a race car, but I do hope that one. But anyways, we managed to cross the finish line in the first place with the 650 swap it with an F1 GTR. That menacing looking, I would say, F1 GTR in disguise. But anyways, oh man, looking at the number 18 right now, feels different. Like every time I see like a NASCAR, every time I see like a Eminem's paint scheme on a camera, it's different right now, especially with that number 18. But anyways, though, for me it's quite a worth it engine swap, because I always like every time like a road car got some engine swap from an actual race car, which makes the car can be like a race build, or I would say a make your own race car, typical like that. So anyways, I think that's it for today's. I think that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please smash like subscribe button, and not gonna say anything stupid. Once again, rest easy, Kyle, and goodbye.